My hand trembled so hard the phone nearly slipped. The banking app glowed against my face, the balance staring back at me. 8 digits. Mine, not theirs. Tears blurred the screen, but I didn't blink them away. I wanted to feel it. The sting, the fire, the taste of a victory carved from humiliation. Because a year ago, this same hand was gripping a cheap watch, pretending I belonged in that room full of polished suits and sneering faces. "Get this beggar out," her father had said. His voice cut through the laughter like a whip. I remember the silence that followed, the kind that crushes air out of lungs. Then came the hands, rough and unapologetic, dragging me toward the door. I looked at my wife, the woman I'd once thought was my home. Her eyes darted away, glued to the marble floor, as if my shame might infect her perfect world. That was the moment something inside me cracked. Not loud, not visible, just final. She wasn't always like that. When we met, she said she admired my ambition, my simplicity. I believed her. I believed everything. Her love, her father's mentorship, their talk of family investments. I even believed them when they said the joint business account would be under my name for trust. Naive. I mistook inclusion for acceptance. When the company started to grow, the tone changed. Meetings I wasn't invited to, decisions made without me. And then, one morning, I woke up to find the accounts drained, my name erased from every document. The lawyer they recommended? Hers. That day, I learned something important. Love is the perfect disguise for a thief. I didn't yell, didn't fight. I left quietly, just the way they wanted. But silence is underrated. It hides the sound of plotting. I started small. Late nights, spreadsheets, access logs, digital footprints. They thought they'd cut me out, but I was the one who built the system, the one who coded the company's back end. They forgot that my fingerprints were still in the software, buried under layers they didn't understand. For months, I played the ghost, monitoring transactions, tracing offshore transfers, collecting proof of fraud, tax evasion, bribery. Her father's philanthropy foundation was a shell company, his empire a house of cards. And my wife? She wasn't just aware, she was the accountant behind the curtain. I gathered it all, piece by piece, and then I waited. Because revenge isn't about rage, it's about timing. The first strike came quietly, a leak to the financial crime unit, anonymous, verified, irrefutable. The second strike was more personal. I released a detailed audit of their hidden accounts to investors and partners, complete with digital signatures. Panic spread faster than gossip. Contracts dissolved overnight. By the third strike, even my wife couldn't reach her father. His number disconnected, his empire frozen. But I wasn't done. I had one last piece to play. The trust fund. The one he mocked me for asking about. The one he said I'd never touch, because men like you don't belong in wealth. What he didn't know was that his arrogance had opened a door. The fund's account manager was the same man who'd helped him hide assets abroad. People like that don't have loyalty, they have prices. And I paid his. With one signature and one encrypted key, I transferred every cent that once propped up their empire into my name. Clean, legal, untouchable. Now here I sit, alone in my car, the night thick and quiet. My reflection in the windshield looks foreign, harder. I don't see the beggar he mocked. I see the man who waited, who planned, who won. My phone buzzes, a news alert. Business tycoon under federal investigation. I scroll. Her face flashes beside his, makeup streaked, eyes hollow. She looks smaller somehow, like the walls she built have finally caved in. I almost feel something. Almost. I remember the night she told me she married me for love. How she said, "You're my peace." Funny how peace looks different when money's gone. She'll probably call soon. She'll cry, she'll say she didn't know. But she did. I won't answer. There's no closure in conversation, only in consequence. A knock on the car window startles me. It's the security guard from the same country club where I was thrown out a year ago. He doesn't recognize me. He just nods politely as I roll down the tinted glass. "Good evening, sir," he says. "Sir." I smile faintly. "Good evening." I drive past the mansion gates, watching flashing lights in the distance. Police cars, cameras, chaos. Their empire collapsing in real time. And in the middle of it all, my wife stands on the balcony, staring into nothing. I stop at the red light and glance at the phone again. Balance unchanged. Secure. Justice digitized.